all. I hope you all are doing great. And today I am going to share some media I have consumed in September and recommendations of some media also that you can watch. And yeah, so currently I have my copy with me. Like in this copy, I have all the notes of the media I have consumed, and also I have coffee with me today in a another mug, and also it's a different kind of coffee I make. It's not like cold coffee, and it's also not like the hot coffee. It's like the mixture of both. I have seen many people making their coffee like this. Like they make, first of all, black coffee and they add cold milk into that. So I try making that today. I don't know if it turns out well or not because I haven't tried it now, but I think I should try now. It's actually good. I think it's for those kind of people who cannot bear or who don't like black coffee, so they can add a little bit of milk in their black coffee so it turns out to be good and still healthy. Black coffee is healthy or not? I don't know actually. And I am really sorry if you are able to listen any drill sound in my videos. I'm really sorry for that because there is like a lot of construction going on in this same street where I'm living. So let's start our today's video. I'm going to start with some Substack essays I have read in September. So the first Substack essay, it's not like a recommendation, but it's a Substack essay I really love. This is Cool Sites for Real Music Discovery by Offline Crash. So in this one, this particular person talks about how nowadays we are not discovering song. Like songs are coming on our feed of Instagram, songs are coming just like recommendations on Spotify, but it's not like that we are finding or discovering any song on different platforms rather than YouTube, Instagram, or Spotify. So in this essay, there are like recommendations of places where you can go and discover some great music. There were some radio option also, and the favorite, I have tried all the options or all the cool sites they have mentioned there, but the problem is most of the sites are like a little bit of complicated to understand for me, and one which I really like that turns out to be a paid one, but I got a one easy site with any without any subscription, which is Radio Garden. I go and search about that on my laptop, and I started listening radio on my laptop because I do love radio a lot. So I'm really liking that site, Radio Garden. You can listen radio from any country, and from being anywhere you can listen radio of Philippines, anywhere. I have also tried listening radio of Japan because my brother loves Japan a lot, but I am listening currently Jaipur radio and Delhi radio, especially Mohammad Rafi songs and Lata Mangeshkar's one. So this is a great place to just like, if you really love radio and you miss that, you will probably going to love this site. I think I'm liking this coffee. I'm gonna try this more. Yeah. So the next one is Your AI is Showing by the Content Girl. This one, I think the thing was very simple, as we are using AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, or whatever to write our emails, also to even draft our messages. Sometime we have a answer in our mind, but we end up going on ChatGPT, and whatever answer that is giving us, we just do copy and paste of that. So it's talking about that. It's talking about how nowadays writers are using AI and ChatGPT to draft their writing, their essays, and all. And this essay talks about that. And this essay is simply saying that when you are writing something for human, you want to add human experiences, human feelings into that particular thing, then you should not draft that with the help of ChatGPT. You should write your draft by yourself. Then, obviously, for grammar checks, for giving it a perfect sort of, what you can say, perfect sort of alignment or arrangements of words, You can use ChatGPT, but don't let ChatGPT write everything. Go draft it by yourself, because AI don't experience life. AI have no emotions. So how that particular thing will be able to add those emotion in your writing? The Paradox of Being a New Substack Writer by Emily Yon. This one essay is basically about a girl who has started writing on Substack. She had like so many ideas, but after like, but her mind's always put her into imposter syndrome, and after fighting that for a long time, she posted her first Substack essay, and turns out less likes, less comments, and all these things. But her the sole intention was to write and share her thoughts. And at that time, she talks about these paradox, that how sometime even in starting our intention is entirely different, but we fall into this trap of likes, comments, engagement, and all. And it really made me feel that it's really important to be true with your intention. What do you need? Because no one will be there to read your first post, and be ready for that. Because if you are doing this for people likes and all then it will hurt. But if you are doing this for yourself, for your creative side, then be truthful to that. Yeah, How to Start Researching as a Hobby by Sarah Substack. This will talk about that how we think that learning is just limited to school or college. We can even learn and grow our knowledge outside of that, because learning is something that you don't do because of pressure, you do because of your own will. And you can do that anytime, anywhere in your life. And this one talk about that how researching can be a hobby. From a long time, I do wanted to learn more about business and money, and I was just sort of putting that aside from a long time, and this has made me feel like you don't have to put that aside. You can do your research and you can learn in your own way. And what it's mean by in your own way, if you like researching or learning in night, do that. If you like to kind of scramble your thoughts while learning, just do that. If you want everything to be organized, just do that. If you like learning or researching sort of thing in early morning, do at that time. Make it the way you like it. I really love this essay. If you are also someone who has completed their schools or colleges, but you still love study and learning this all, and but you don't know how to just again pick that thing again, I would really recommend you this one essay by Sarah Substack. Now, remaining two are my most favorite, and I don't have to say recommended, like I'm recommending you this one because these are my must recommendation. First of all is The Lost Art of Shame by Love Letters to Literature. I have saved this essay on my Substack a long time ago, and I got the chance to read it in September. And I have to say first, I love this essay. I think I'm not gonna yap or blabber. I'm just going to read what I have written after this essay. This is what I have written after reading that essay. This essay is like a complete different view. In today's world, we don't even think about this word shame. We have changed this word with entertainment, content, self love, and all the things. Caring about these things are not bad, but what about kindness? Thinking about people, showing up for your loved one, understanding intimacy and privacy. In a world where we don't even want to keep things just to us, we want to make content out of everything. There is nothing bad in keeping yourself first, but not showing up for others just for the sake of self. That's the problem is. Where we share things that we don't even had the courage to talk about. Heartbreak, betrayal, and now we are making content out of these hard moments. It's not about loving yourself or not posting content. It's just about understanding the beauty that's in shame, that privacy matter, showing up for others matter. I'm not going to say anything else apart from what I have written. But I would just recommend you go on Substack, search this Love Letters to Literature or the essay's name, The Lost Art of Shame. You're gonna get it. And I can surely say you, You will surely love, maybe not the whole essay, but you will surely like even a single bit of that essay because it really talks about what we have forgotten, shame. Now let's talk about another one, my another most favorite. I'll again not blabber, I'll just read. So the essay is I Can't Wait to Lose My Virginity by Personal Scriptures. I just want to read. I just accidentally came across this essay and it really made me feel seen. In this one, the girl talks about how she wants a love that is not like today, where people don't meant what they are saying. They are just seeing each other, following and unfollowing, and it talks about a love which is in books and movies, the one that makes you to feel the storm, those eye contacts, those words, the one who meant what he says. It's not like saving herself for someone, but saving for the real love. I would rather be alone than be lukewarm. I would rather be starved than eating crumbs. And it do made me feel what I feel and think about love. I don't want a love like nowadays, where people just love to flirt, see, swipe, and say words that don't even meant to them. I don't want to be a person who start a tap of love and then forget about closing that because they fall in love with everyone. I don't want a love where someone before asking my number, asking for my Instagram and don't want seriously commit. I don't want someone who don't understand the intimacy of eye contacts, listening to each other, writing letters, and the old kind of love where people, if they say something, they meant it by heart. I don't want to just let's see what happens. I want someone who want to make it happen. This one first, I will not lie, first when I was writing these essay, I was not planning to add this one here because I found it a little bit different from the one I recommend. But this one is very close to my heart, so I had to add this here. And I will say you nothing. If you believe in love and you are tired of seeing this modern time love, I would really recommend you this one essay. So these were all the essays I have read on Substack. There is another article I read on Indian Express, but let me before tell you this article is paid, so probably you are not going to read it full. I haven't also read it full, but I really like it. So if you have Indian Express free or like the paid one, you can surely read this. The pose in the page inside the world of performative reading. This one talks about that how nowadays everyone is reading just because of performance, just because they want to perform, they want to let others see that, see I read, see I have books, all those kind of things. So if you are also tired of performative things, then go read this. And it's especially for Delhi ones because it talks about Fakir Chand bookstore, like how people have turned that beautiful bookstore in a photo shoot place. I'm really pissed off by those people. So you can go and read this one also. Now let's talk about my another favorite thing, and that is YouTube videos. In this month, in September, I haven't watched so many YouTube videos. They're like so much less, but I have came across few good channels, so I would recommend you those channels. First one is Noah Maria. I have came across her, or I have found her in August, and I really love her vibe, the way she make YouTube videos. Sometimes she's doing nothing; she's just in a cafe and journaling, but the way she present it just change the topic into something very beautiful. Another one is Suzanne. She is a new YouTuber. She has just started, but she really makes good YouTube videos. And another a new content creator on YouTube, Lena. She also makes good content. I think I you should go and watch. If you really like slow paced videos, sometime I also make them. I don't know, but you really like slow pace video where it's not like something is running or you have to catch up with that in that video. You would really like these creators. So these are the two books I have consumed in September, and I am also currently reading. These are The Bastard of Istanbul and Victoria Hislop, The Return. Let's start with the one I have already completed in September. I have already talked about this book a lot, so I'm just going to keep it very short. The Bastard of Istanbul by Elif Shafak. I am a fan of Elif Shafak's writing from the time I have read The 40 Rules of Love. And The Bastard of Istanbul changed everything for me. I have picked up this book before also, but was not able to complete then. And then I picked up again in September and I completed this. This book is basically about the past and the present. That how our past always comes in a way of our present. That how past affects our present. That how, and it basically, um, the book is basically like coming from the era of conflict between Turkish and Armenian people, and there are two girls, Asya and Armanosh, how their lives are connected. I love every character. I love how the story unfolds. I love how Elif Shafak writes, and this book has this book is almost like a this book is almost has done a work of putting a mirror in front of me, made me feel a lot about past. I have also written a very gray, like kind of big note on my notes app after reading this one. I have read that and I have talked about this in depth in my previous vlog. Maybe I'll surely link anywhere and you can watch this. But this book is surely recommended if you really like something that coming from past, that has a history also, and that has a lot of happening in present where lives are tangled with each other. Then you will surely love this one, The Bastard of Istanbul by Elif Shafak. After this, I picked up again another fictional book which I am currently reading also, and this one is The Written by Victoria Hislop. I am currently on page number 285 here. Sorry, that just I picked up this one. I'm currently reading this also, so I cannot say much about this book, but whatever I have read, if I have to talk about this is almost the same idea like The Bastard of Istanbul. The story is coming from past. The story is from the time when there was a civil war happening in Spain during 1930, and how the girl who is currently in this book, Sonia, she and the Spain World War is almost connected in some ways. So just talk about that. And I'm currently reading this. I don't want to spoil this now. I'll talk about this in any of my upcoming vlog when I'll complete this. I'll try to complete this by tomorrow or by Monday. But I really, really, really love this book till now. It had made me feel a lot, and I'll talk about those later. But for now, this one I am currently reading. This was my physical media I have consumed in September, or I am currently consuming also. And I hope you all will surely kind of make some time and check out the things I have recommended you, especially those Substack essays. I'm saying you just go and read them. You will surely love them. And that's all I have consumed, and these are the recommendations I have for you all. I think that's all for today's video. I hope you all will like my recommendation, and if you have any thoughts for the things I have recommended you, you can surely leave your comments. And if you have anything to recommend me in regard of books, music, or Substack essays or YouTube videos, I would really like to know your recommendations also. And that's all for today's video. I hope you all liked this one, and I'll meet you in my next one.